What's up? What's up? We're going down here and we're going to look at the river. I have to make sure my sound's turned up because when my wife calls, that means it's time to leave. All right, y'all. We're at the river. We'll look at some of the paintings along the floodgate here in a little bit. Can't really get too close to them. Well, there's paintings all along the floodgate down here. There's the Mississippi River right there. It don't look that low as everybody's saying that it does, I don't think. We'll walk down a little bit further and look at it. That's the Mississippi River. Thanks for the share. Appreciate it. I actually need to share this out too, just a little bit. But like I said, when my wife calls, it'll be time for me to end this tour. We're going to walk back down the other way here in a minute. I'll show you the painting that's here on the side of the wall that was painted. And this is one of the paintings. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. There's someone painted there. Pretty cool. And there's paintings all along the sides of the floodgate on the outside, along with a little bit of course, history that goes along with it. That painting, I think, is the only one. No, there's one on this side, too, that we'll look at. Of course, we have to be a little bit careful due to you never know who's going to be walking around out here, and I'm not trying to swim with the fishes today. Let me just share this real quick to that one. I was also supposed to share this. Appreciate the follows. But yeah, there's the Mississippi. Now, further down, that side that you're looking on, I'm on the Missouri side right now of the river. This side over here is the Illinois side. Actually, that's the new bridge. I crossed that bridge to get here. I live on this side of the bridge, and then Missouri, where I'm at now, is on this side of the bridge, of course. But that's the new suspension bridge that they put up. You know, I don't think I can get a whole lot closer to seeing it. Yeah, you can't really see it, but that's the new bridge that they just put up. Like I said, Illinois is on this side. Missouri, of course, I'm on the Missouri side right now. Missouri is on this side where I'm at. And like I said, there's one of the paintings I showed earlier. We'll walk down a little bit, and all along the floodgate, of course, they give you some history. I'm not going to read all these signs because these signs kind of have a lot of writing on them. I'm not going to read all that today. Justin's for Common Man. Did you know? Anyway, there's a lot of paintings I don't want to show you guys today, and gals that come in. We'll walk down here a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to get too close because I am not wanting to swim with the fishes. And we all know that I have a little bit of a problem sometimes when it comes to walking. So where are you in Missouri? So afraid for yourself. I'm actually in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, right next to Good Hope. If you know where Good Hope used to be or where Good Hope is, you would know a little bit about Good Hope. I'm not afraid for myself. I used to live in Cape. The only thing is, I'm not afraid of anything, for that matter. I used to live here. The only thing I said is I'm just not getting close to the water because I like to fall. You know, I have a bad leg. That was my whole. See that carp jump? Whole intention. There's a carp that just jumped right there. That was pretty cool. Whenever I was saying that, because my left leg is bad, and I kind of fall sometimes. There is a barge. I probably won't be able to show it. Probably too far out still. There's a barge way down in there. I can't get too close, of course, because it won't let me. That's coming up. Afternoon. Queenie, appreciate it. Yeah, that barge is just right around the bend right there. And it's colder than crap out here, I'm telling you. But that's the Mississippi River. The Illinois side, of course, is on Illinois side. I'm going to figure out how to zoom out. I don't know. I totally misunderstood. Sorry about that. No worries. I ain't no big deal. I don't let stuff like that bother me. So I want to zoom back in. Okay. I zoomed out and I can't get to zoom back in. Which that's going to suck if I can't get that to zoom back in. Because I wanted to show. The hell? Oh, yeah. That's right. Now I have to wait for the train to go through before I can cross back over through the floodgate because the train track runs straight through in front of the floodgate. So we may be able to see that barge come through. Yeah, ain't no big worries on that. I don't worry about that. But I don't know if you can see it or not. And of course, this doesn't go all the way down to where I can get closer. You see the bridge. The bridge is there. Big Matt, what's up? The bridge is right here, of course. I live on this side of the bridge, and Missouri's on this side where I'm at now. Right here, I'm going to try to make it bigger again. You can see where the river's really dried up. Crap. See if I can show that or not. See that dry land over there? That sand? Probably can't see it. But that's land over there where the river used to be. And then the main channel, where's my finger at? Cuts off and around through here now instead of straight through. I'm a bank fisherman. Would love fish. Yeah, there's some big catfish in here. And we were fortunate enough to see a carp jump. There was a carp that jumped right here when we first started, which was pretty cool. But organize my plastic lures though. Yeah, I still need to do mine. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but there's a train right here. And we won't be able to go back out until that train leaves. So hopefully it's not going to be there very long because it is a little bit chilly out here. There's a barge that's going to be coming around probably here soon. It's about right there. I wanted to be able to show you guys the artwork that's along the and there's a log. I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably not. But there's a log right there. We are getting closer, brother. Yeah. But there's a log or something that's floating right about there somewhere. That train, I don't know what that train is doing. It's just sitting there. I hope they're not waiting on me to come out because I'm not coming out just yet. There's a buoy right there. Maybe who he's honking at. He may be come up the hell up out here. I don't know. But there's a buoy over there in the middle of the water. And that may be what he's doing. I don't know. Because he sees me down here. I know he does. Hopefully he's not waiting for me to come through because I'm not leaving just yet. He'll sit there and wait till I'm done. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I was going to get over here so where you can see some of the painting here. Cape Girardeau. So I'm in Cape. That's along the floodgate on the outside where the river's at, where they have that painted. And I may want to think about start backing up out of here because that train's not moving, and I'm not trying to get in trouble. I appreciate the likes, Big Matt. Yeah, that's the Mississippi. It's not really went down that much on that end. But like I said, let me get crap. I'm on a slope here. Oh, the train's backing up. Okay, good. So we will get to see the train a little bit close up. I don't know why. We're not leaving the river just yet. I wanted to walk back down here. Like I said, you can see the way I'm walking. You can probably tell that I've got kind of a limp. I'll probably have that forever now, to tell you the truth. But I'm in old downtown Cape Girardeau, Missouri, where the floodgate's at. So they'll close this floodgate whenever this river comes up and starts to flood. And when this river does flood, which as low as it is right now, I don't ever think it will again. But you never know. They'll close this floodgate. Actually, I can walk down quite a bit. I just now seen that. Okay, so let's walk down there. As long as my wife doesn't call before we have to jump off for good. I just now seen a walkway down there. That's why I said that. So we'll walk down and hopefully get a closer look at the fork and the dry ground where the river used to be. It's not there anymore. Goes two different ways. But yeah, we'll even get a little bit closer to the bridge and you'll be able to see the bridge. Some of you may know where I am, some may not. I don't know. Illinois is on this side, and I'm on the Missouri side right now. I'd like to be down here fishing. I don't think you can fish this part anywhere. I don't think they'll let you. I'm not sure. I've never asked. if you can fish this or not, because this is an awful steep bank. Just to let you know, it's kind of insanely steep, and I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm just trying to get to where I can show the dry ground, or the sand actually, where the water used to be in the main channel, because I want to show the pictures today too, because God knows when I'll be over here next. It may be a little bit. Appreciate y'all for coming in this afternoon, hanging out. Appreciate the likes, the follows, and all that awesome stuff. We didn't get to go fishing today. It's just too cold. Rain and the wind was kind of blowing a little bit, so I kind of said no and slept in today, when I probably should have just got up and went fishing, to tell you the truth. But anyway, I'm going to try to zoom in here in a minute. There's literally dry ground over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I'm not going to walk all the way down there. That's quite a walk. Yeah, you can see it. That's sand. Where's my finger at? That's sand right there where the river is no longer. It's dried up right there. And it forks off right there in that narrow gate. Nothing will probably ever go back down that again unless this river rises, and then your main channel cuts off and goes around the corner. So that's what this river is right now, where I'm at. But yeah, where I showed you a minute ago, that's nothing but dry, and you have an open spot there where you can take maybe a small boat, but you'll never get a barge down that part of the river again, as far as I know. Channel is just not going to let you do it. But there's a current, you can see the current moving in there. It's moving pretty quick. Because that log that we seen over here earlier, it's already down here somewhere now. But I've always liked coming out here. They usually bring Coast Guard ship out here and let you tour it. You get to get up on it, look around inside, take a quick ride, usually across around to the other side and back through, and they bring you right back. Okay, so let's go look at and I dropped my wife off at Walmart, by the way. I took her to get her hair cut, and then after that she said, well, I want to go to Walmart and do some Christmas shopping. And I said, okay, bye. I'm going to the river, and that's where I've been ever since. That's just the way it looks. Appreciate the likes, appreciate the follows, appreciate y'all coming in here. This is a river that I would be fishing if I lived a little bit closer to it. Like I said, I'm 45 minutes to an hour away from it. That's really the only thing that stops me from fishing this river. Of course, I'd have to fish that side over there because I'm in Illinois over there. I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in on it, but let's see if I can or not. Where's it at? There's a rock dike somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Rock dike right there out in the middle. That'd be a good place to set up and catch some catfish if you didn't get caught, or if they let you, for that matter. Okay, so let's go out here and look at some of the paintings. The barge is not going to make it around to where we can see it, unfortunately. My dad used to work on a barge and stuff like that. And it may be docked right there for right now. It may not be moving because the water is just so low. I don't know. Don't take that for granted. Literally, because I'm not sure. But I did whenever I came down here and crossed the bridge. Like I said, that's the bridge we crossed to come from my house over to Missouri. So Illinois is, like I said earlier, here, in Missouri, of course, is where I'm at right now. So let's go look at the artwork that's along the outside of the, what the heck is that over there? That's kind of weird. Huh. I guess something washed up on the bank over on the other side. That's over on the outside of this floodgate real quick, which is pretty cool, I think. It's got a lot of history to it and all that. And it is getting cold. What does the sign say? River gauge. Do not enter. Do not enter more. That said, do not enter more. Bar. I completely spelled that wrong. Okay, that's my wife telling me she's about to check out. We're going to go over to Academy. I'm going to do a live over there also. So I kind of figured it would take her about that long to get done. But, yep, there's the Mississippi River from where I'm at Kitty, kitty, kitty. What's up? Appreciate you. All right, we're going to run through here pretty quick. I'm not going to stop at any of the buildings. But you got Port Cape. That's an expensive ass restaurant right there. Port Cape is expensive. And then all the artwork. This is along the floodgates. I'm not going to get any closer than that because that railroad tracks there, and I'm not going to try to get stuck there. And every, I don't know, 5 to 10 foot, you're going to have a sign with historical stuff on it. The coming of the railroad in 1880 was actually from Delta to Cape Girardeau, Missouri by midnight on January 1st, 1881. It was a 16.5 mile journey at that time. Okay, and then you also have, you also have the other ones. There's a lot of artwork that they painted along this wall. 1909. This one was 1880. So 1880 is what that represents. That one is 1909. I'll come around this bar a little bit. You'll be able to see it. Everybody sees me out here recording and stuff like that. So every, I don't know, few years they'll do a new one. What's up there in Kennett? If you're in Kennett, Missouri, you know where I'm at. Pretty much, I would believe. But 1909, there is another one. Hopefully you're having a good day. And of course, you have your, I'm not going to read these signs because it would take me forever to read every one of these in 1909. Let's see, just real quick, if I can see anything. As a vessel traveling New Orleans, ran around. Okay, so I'll read this part right here. More than half of the vessels traveling to New Orleans ran aground at some point. Maintaining a safe and secure channel was essential to river commerce. So that was in 1909. As you see, the date is at the top of the screen. 1916 would be the next one coming up as we walk toward my car. I'll try to get to all of them before I have to go home, or before I have to go pick up my wife, because then we're going to go eat dinner, I think, somewhere. Oh, no, I'll be going live from Academy. That's what I'll be doing. 1916, appreciate the roses very greatly there. 1916, there's another one. Whoever painted these are awesome painters, I'm telling you. 1916, the Great Fire. The biggest fire in the history of Cape Girardeau, Missouri was on March 15th, 1916. The city was wakened by a shriek on a steamboat while whistle early that morning. The blaze began south of Broadway, engulfing the Terminal Hotel, Ragshake Store, and Crisco Railroad Department. Additional railroad cars and equipment arrived via railroad and assisted in the evacuation of goods from other downtown structures. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that happened, but it did. Let's move on to the next one. 1916, 2 years later, something else happened. 1916, let's see what happened in 1918. That's the a couple of you, if that's okay. Let's see. Where was I? 1918. We're almost done with the pictures. They don't go very far. My wife says she's going to smoke a cigarette and it should be ready. 1918. What's happened in 1918 was the big freeze in 1918. In the early 20th century, the Mississippi River was wider and slower than it is today. It is more inclined to freeze over during the periods of cold water or cold weather. The weather of 1918 to 1919 was especially frigid, and the river was covered with ice for several weeks. A fun but risky activity was a walk across the surface of the river. Some drove a team of horses and wagons across ice, or occasionally an automobile. As you see, you can post this thing in the panel. Okay, yeah, you can actually see the picture there showing that they were walking across the ice because the river had frozen in 1918. So because it was moving slower. So in 1924 and 1925, these two pictures are together. So we'll walk down. Like I said, we're not going to cover this whole floodgate today because it's massive as far as pictures and stuff like that go. So every 2 or 4 years, they'll put something else here. The Three Cape Garucho, whatever. I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to go over that one. But there are 1924 and 1925. For the most part of the 19th century and the first third of the 20th century, steamboats were vital to the economic livelihood of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Shown here are the three steamboats that bore the name Cape Girardeau. The first to carry this name was Service until she sank in July of 1910. In early 1911, the older boat was refurbished and became second Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It sank in 1916, close to the site of the sunken one. In 1924, the third Cape Girardeau, Missouri, um, or third Cape Girardeau, and the grandest of them all, was christened here. She was still called vessel and pride of the community. She was sold in 1935 in the midst of the Depression. She mysteriously sank that same year while docked at the St. Louis Riverport. So that's pretty cool, I think. I'm not going to be able to be here. Okay, so we read that one already. We're Riverboat Jazz. We're not going to read all of these today because we're going to have to go pick up my wife from Walmart. That's where I left her at. And then do one more live stream from Academy as long as I don't get caught when I go in there. Trying to do one. The big flood of 1927, or the Great Flood, I should say. And like I'm saying, I'm reading these from right here. This picture is what shows what they believe to be the story of the Great Flood of 1927. Remains the flood by which all Mississippi River floods are measured. At that time, it was the most destructive flood in American history and the nation's largest natural disaster. It caused more than $1 billion in damage at a time when the entire annual budget of the nation was $3 billion. More than 1,000 people died and 700,000 were driven from their homes. The devastating effect on communities along the lower portion of the Mississippi River resulted in creation of Jawin Plain. I can't pronounce that. This comprehensive plan sought to control the river with a coordinated stream of levees supported by the floodways, spillways, channels, and improved mapping, starting here, continuing to the Gulf of Mexico. Appreciate the roses. Appreciate y'all coming in here and hanging out. I know it can be a little bit boring, but it's history. History can be boring at some times, and we don't have very many more to go. My wife calls me one more time, and of course I'll have to end it and take off. But there's only 1, 2, 3 more signs, I think, maybe 4. I'm not going to read everything from the river industry in 1958. It has the dates on top of all the pictures. Hello, how's it going? Appreciate you coming in. This is from 1958. That's where they talk about they used to use sand to make concrete. This one is 1961. The one we're getting ready to go to now, and then there's 2 more after that, and then we'll be finished with the wall. And then we'll be ready to get over to Academy, I do believe. 1964, after centuries of floods, construction of the Mississippi River flood wall began in 1956 to protect the city from waters that periodically raged this town. The massive flood control project was completed 8 years later in 1964 at the cost of more than $4 million. The system then earthen levees and concrete wall parallels the river at 7,210 feet, approximately 1 mile or 1.3 miles, and rises as high as 16 foot. This includes 2 pumping stations, fire gates, and 6 drainage structures. Whew. More than what I thought there was on this wall. 1980 is where I'm going to next. Wait a minute. 1961. That was 1961. We've got 2 more and we'll be done. With this little history lesson, at least for this part, there's a whole wall down there that I'm not even going to be able to cover today. 1980. So there's a river on the other. Yes, there's a river on the other side of this wall. We'll look at it real quick before we go pick up my wife if I have time. 1980 Riverfest is an initial effort to develop tourism Okay, that's just Riverfest. We're going to skip that one. We all know what a Riverfest is. It's a big party, festivals, places to eat, and stuff like that. Okay, and then the last one in 2003. Uh, so this is the most recent one, 2003, that they've added, and that's all that they've added as far as the train's down there. It's way down there with the side, so I don't know what it's getting ready to do. Bill Emerson Memorial Bridge. That's the actual new bridge that I showed you guys earlier when I was back there behind the floodgate. Um, After 15 years of planning and 7 years of construction, the Bill Emerson Bridge opened to traffic on December 13, 2003. The bridge was named Bill Emerson, an eight-term congressman who had championed legislation and brought about the construction of the cable-stayed bridge. The floor of the cable-stayed bridge is held in place by cable suspended from a strong tower. At times, at the time of its construction, it was one of only 34 cable-stayed bridges in the world. So that's just a little bit. We'll try to run back through really, really fast and hit the floodgates so those that are just not coming in can see. And then we're going to cut off. My hands are getting cold. Me and my wife are going to run into Academy. I'll do another live from inside Academy real quick, probably. And then we're going to go eat dinner, and then I'm going home. But yeah, see, there's a lot of artwork that goes all the way down this. I didn't even get to the other side of it, which would have been the very beginning of when the flood wall was built, which is way down there. I kind of started at the middle. We'll go down here and we'll look at the river one more time, and then we're going to go. I'll end this live, go pick up my wife, go to Academy, start another live. So this would technically be the third live that I've done today. The first one I done when my wife was getting a haircut. The second one is now. So we'll go over here. We'll look at the river one more time because there's no telling when I'll get to see it ever again in my lifetime. And then we'll go pick up my wife at Walmart. Hopefully, Academy does not close early as I think it does, and we'll get to do it again. So a lot of people come through here just to look at this wall. I want to have more time in the maybe summer. I'll come over here by myself and I'll go over this whole wall, starting at the beginning and work my way down to the very end. I just don't have time to do it today. But there are some pretty cool artwork. Like I said, a lot of history in this wall. A whole lot of history is being explained in these paintings. As far as the Mississippi River and what happened in that time period and era and all that good stuff. I've actually been on a ship or a boat like that out here, not that one, but a cruise ship or whatever out here on the river. Okay, we've got a big barge out there now. Okay, there's a barge just did make it up the river. We're going to get to see if I hurry my butt up. We'll get to see this barge getting pushed down the river. We got to hurry up and do it. We're not going to get to see it. There it is. So there's a barge coming upriver. I'm in Missouri right now. So if I were to go home, for me to go home, here's the new bridge that I just read about that was constructed in 2003. I just read about that. That's the Bill Emerson Bridge, suspension bridge that in 2003 they made. I live on this side. The Illinois side is over here. Right now I'm on the Missouri side, which is over here. And then, of course, it has signs and stuff along the river that I'm not going to read today either. There's just a quick look at one of the barges going down actually up. That barge is going north, the Mississippi River. Here comes another one. We'll try to stay long enough to see the second one. After that, I'm going to have to cut it off. I'm wanting to go to Academy. I ain't trying to piss my wife off by being out here too long. I know that she's ready to be picked up at Walmart. So, but yeah, right now I'm in Missouri. I crossed the bridge and I'll be back in my home state of Illinois. So there's one. We're getting ready to have another one come up river here in a minute. Maybe. If it takes its slow, sweet time, I won't be able to record it. Because number one, I don't know what time they close, and I'm shaking because it's just a little bit cold out here. It's like 30 degrees or somewhere. And I'm using 5G too, so let me try to steady my hand just a little bit. There we go. But yeah, there's one. And then if we were to look, here comes another one. So they're big barges. Yeah, you ain't lying. Well, actually, my couch is pretty comfortable. And like I said, there's the bridge that I just talked about in 2003 that was built. And there's the second barge. I'll show you one more painting, and then I'm going to jump because she said she was okay. She was smoking a cigarette. That's the last painting I'm going to show you for today. Back out there. Of course, it has more signs all around. This is a very steep. This is what's a mile high, is what they're claiming on the board over there. Is the wall itself and the rocks that the people wrote down there. Those little dots down there are people. But if this barge would hurry up, we'd actually be able to see it pretty close because it's toward the middle of the channel where that other one kind of was not. But I don't think it's going to make it before I have to go home. Or not home, but to pick up my wife. In fact, I know it's not. He's moving awful slow. They're pushing a lot of water. And then, of course, there's the sign, welcome to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Appreciate the likes, each and every one of you. But there's one barge that's going up. And maybe if he'll hurry, as long as my wife don't call here in a second, we'll get to watch this barge pass by. If she calls while it's passing by, then I do apologize. Hopefully you'll still be able to see it. If not, then, well, we'll have to come over in the summer sometime. Appreciate the likes, Angel Martinez. If I pronounce your names wrong, I do apologize. I'm not very good with pronouncing names and stuff like that. But that's the second grain barge or barge that's coming up. They're carrying or pushing a lot of weight. Believe it or not. The barge itself is at the backside, so that boat, instead of pulling, is actually literally pushing those containers. If y'all did not know that, it's actually pushing that instead of pulling it. I don't want to get closed up in here either. I don't know what time they close the floodgate at night, or if they even do anymore. They used to close it at night and all that good stuff, but I don't know if they do anymore. Look, there's a mouse. Anyway, that was a little bit interesting. Look down on the right, and there's a freaking mouse sitting there. I look for my wife to call any time before that barge actually gets to me. Y'all want to see how cold it is out on that barge? Where are they at? There's some people out there working right now. See them standing there? They're working. I don't know if I can get any closer than that. Probably not. No. He said, look, the dude's over there taking my picture. I got to duck down. But yeah, there's two people over there working a barge right now. The barges themselves, of course, bring it up just a little bit bigger. Oh, no more, no more. I just learned the zoom on this, so if I don't do it right, then I do apologize. But there's another barge coming through. That's the second one that's came through since we've been here. And I'm the only one here. Oh, no, I'm not. But yeah. So yeah, that was the second barge, and they're huge, you know. And then there's the first barge up there, but dang, they look small, pretty far out. Yeah, they do. That one's actually closer than what you think to me. He's actually in the middle. They pretty much right now have to run the middle because the river's so low. They're running that middle channel. And he is pushing some weight. and that is passing. That'll be the last one I get to watch today because I don't see any more coming up. And then of course you actually have one that is, where's my finger? You have a barge up there. You have that one right there. So that's the second one. And then this one coming through right now is the third one. But we got to get out of here before they shut this gate on me and before my wife has a fit. I'm surprised she hasn't called me yet. But this is downtown. Like I said, this is the historical part of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Port Cape. In which I'm not going to... Yeah, that was her. She said, hurry, I'm freezing. So, yeah, we'll end this one. I'll start another live from Academy because that's where our plan is now, is to go from here to Academy. Walk around, see what sales they've got going on there. And then after that, me and my wife are going to go eat. And I don't know. Probably do absolutely nothing. Go home. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not going to drive while I'm recording, of course, because I don't want anybody to report me for driving and all that stuff. I've done it before at home, but as you can see, I've got my camera mounts everywhere for when I do YouTube. I've got camera mounts for my phone and everything else. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to end this. Appreciate y'all coming in for a little bit. Let me see real fast. We've had 865 people come in and 2 new followers. I appreciate y'all for coming in, hanging out, and learning a little bit of history. I'll be going live from Academy probably in about 15 to 20 minutes. Appreciate y'all. God bless. Be safe. Love you. And I'll be back in a little bit. Bye-bye.